There's something I want you to notice before anything else. You didn't search for this. You didn't plan to watch this. You didn't even know it existed a moment ago. Yet here you are, sitting in a moment you didn't expect, listening to words you didn't know you needed, feeling something in your chest shift before a single sentence fully forms. That's not coincidence. It's not random. It's timing. The kind that only reveals itself when a person has walked long enough through silence, through uncertainty, through chapters that made no sense while living them. You've been carrying a weight no one ever saw clearly. You've been trying hard, harder than you let on, to keep faith alive while things around you seem to move slower than your heart hoped for. And you've done it with a quiet strength that doesn't get celebrated, but it's seen, more than you know. It's seen. There were days when you woke up and wondered if you were running out of chances. Days when the asking became exhausting. Moments when the waiting felt like a kind of heaviness you didn't have the language for. And still, you stayed. Still, you kept going. Still, you protected what was good inside you, even when nothing around you seemed to reward that choice. That's why this message is reaching you now. Not earlier, not someday. Now. Because something in your life is beginning to move, and you can feel it in ways you can't quite describe. Not excitement. Not fear, just that quiet inner shift, that sense of something is changing even if I don't know what yet. You're not imagining that you're not misreading your intuition. There is movement. And for the first time in a long time, the energy around you isn't resisting you, it's rearranging itself for you. There's something incredibly powerful about the moment just before a blessing arrives. It doesn't look like light breaking through clouds. It looks like calmness after a storm you thought would never end. It looks like a kind of emotional clarity that rises after months, maybe years, of confusion. It feels like the world around you is holding its breath, just waiting for the right second to reveal what you've been preparing for. You've outgrown the version of yourself that once doubted everything. You've walked through seasons that tried to convince you that nothing was going to change. You've been refined in ways you didn't ask for, but needed. Every delay you experienced wasn't rejection, it was divine alignment from higher forces that know where your destiny lies, even if you don't. And I mean alignment as in pieces shifting behind the scenes where you couldn't see them. People being moved out of your path who would have slowed you down. Opportunities being held back until you were stable enough to handle them. Direction being corrected when your heart was tired and your vision was foggy. You didn't lose time, you gained accuracy. And now, you're right on the edge of the season that makes sense of everything. Let's talk about the part you rarely give yourself credit for, your integrity. You could have chosen bitterness. You could have matched the disrespect you were given. You could have closed off, shut down, or checked out. But even in your hurt, you didn't betray the core of who you are. You chose honesty when lies would have been easier. You chose compassion when others handled you carelessly. You chose growth, even when the people around you wanted you to stay small. That matters. That always matters, especially now. Because the season you're entering doesn't open for everyone. It opens for the ones who survived the waiting without losing themselves, for the ones who kept their heart clean while walking through chaos, for the ones who learned to stand tall without needing applause, for the ones who didn't let pain harden them. How do I know this season is shifting for you? Because there's a certain kind of peace that arrives only when a person has passed every unseen test. Life quietly hands them, and that peace has been circling around you recently. Maybe only in small moments, maybe only during random quiet hours. But it's there. It's been whispering, "Hold on, something is coming." Your spirit can sense what your eyes can't see yet. You're closer than you think. Your name has been spoken in rooms you don't know about. Your efforts are echoing in ways you'll soon witness. Your blessings are not on their way. They're already moving in your direction, gaining speed, gaining clarity, gaining certainty. And I want you to hear this with your whole heart. The season you've been waiting for isn't in the distant future. It's rising beneath your feet right now. The ground is shifting, pathways are opening, energy is clearing. Your story is turning. You're stepping into a chapter that aligns with the strength you had to build, the patience you had to learn, and the faith you had to protect. Things will begin to feel lighter. Conversations will feel different. Your intuition will sharpen. Opportunities will approach you instead of you chasing them. The right people will recognize you immediately. Doors that once felt impossible will feel natural, and you'll realize it was never about timing alone. It was about your readiness. You are ready now. Not because you're perfect, not because you've figured everything out, but because you've finally become the person your future requires. There's something else I want you to understand. You didn't lose anything that was meant to stay. You didn't fail at anything that was part of your destiny. And you didn't wait all this time just to end up disappointed. Every part of your past, the heavy, the confusing, the painful, the silent, has been preparing you for what you're stepping into. This next season will not look like your old life with small improvements. It will feel like a different reality entirely. You will think differently, move differently, love differently, choose differently, receive differently. Your life is opening, and you're going to look back soon and say, "I'm glad I didn't give up before this moment arrived." As this shift unfolds, I want you to protect a few things carefully. Protect your peace. Not everyone deserves access to the version of you that had to fight so hard to be reborn. Protect your vision. Not everyone will understand the magnitude of what you're building. Protect your heart. It's softer now in the best way. Open, not naive. Receptive, not desperate. And most importantly, protect your alignment. Because the more you stay connected to truth, your truth, God's truth, the universe's guidance, the smoother this transition becomes. You don't have to force anything anymore. You don't have to chase, beg, convince, or prove. What's meant for you will find you now because you're finally in the emotional, spiritual, and energetic place to receive it. Now let me speak directly to the part of you that's exhausted. You've carried yourself through storms that would have broken other people. You've had conversations with yourself at 2 a.m. that nobody else will ever hear. You've wiped your own tears and kept showing up anyway. You've held hope when logic said you shouldn't. You've kept going when your heart was tired, and because of that, your life is about to respond. Blessings don't just arrive. They recognize when someone has grown into them. You've grown, you've shifted, you've matured, you've surrendered, you've aligned, and now the universe is matching your effort. The timing is no longer sometime soon. It's now, this is the window. This is the hour. This is the moment your life quietly changes direction. So let me close this message in a way your spirit will feel deeply. If you came here hurting, let my words take your pain for a moment. If you came here doubting, let this be the breath that steadies your faith. If you came here seeking, let this be the moment your desire begins its journey toward you. If you came here hoping for a sign, let this be the one that reaches straight into your soul and reminds you your blessing is no longer waiting, it's arriving. And if you came here on the edge of giving up, please stay one more step, because the season you've been waiting for is opening its doors, and you are finally, beautifully, undeniably ready to walk through them.